The next big price breakout, whether it's up or down, is going to set the tone for the next multi-month trend. Enough time has passed that emotions have been able to reset. This is not the time to be biased. The market will speak, and you better listen. As I'm making this video, Ethereum is testing above the previous high, getting above 1800, which is putting us at the highest levels we've seen since the beginning of June. This is a major moment for Ethereum leading into the merge. We are now testing above the 2021 support zone, and if we can get above this area successfully, that would likely usher in some major upside momentum for not only Ethereum, but the rest of the market. And the Ethereum action is leading Bitcoin up right now into a higher low, higher high structure. And we are nearing a breakout zone as well. We are nearing a break above the 25K level. Bitcoin is also looking like it wants to break above its resistance here, which would also give it some pretty nice momentum, I think. And that is what we were discussing in the previous video here. We said Bitcoin holds key level, Ethereum ready to pump. So if you guys like this kind of content and these early warning sign videos, definitely smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. For those of you that haven't tried this new exchange, BETTOGH, I think it's a great new platform. Use that link below. I'm going to post the link below for a $4,000 trading bonus. I started using BETTOGH a few weeks ago. It caught my attention that they did create a $200 million protection fund for the investors on the exchange in case any unforeseen events happen. Makes me a lot more comfortable to be on there. BETTOGH does have US licensing. They have their licenses in the US, which means you don't have to use a VPN. It is confirmed for US users. I've been using it recently to trade a lot of these altcoin breakouts, and they have no KYC either. So I think it's a great option for US users if you guys want to check something out. They pretty much got all the features you're looking for. One of the biggest things to note about Ethereum and its long-term chart is that on the weekly, we have successfully crossed to the bullish side. To me, it looks like Ethereum may be ready to create some major upside momentum if we get some follow through on this weekly bullish MACD cross. And it's not just that, it's also coinciding with a major break of the 1 year plus long downward sloping resistance line for Ethereum. If you look very closely right there, it shows that we are starting to peak above this resistance line. And this could be the first time, in over a year that we're actually getting above this downward sloping resistance line on the weekly RSI. And if that does happen, that could open us up for some major moves into this range. Now, Ethereum has been the leader in this market recently. Ethereum has been breaking out before Bitcoin. In most cases, leading Bitcoin. First of all, if you look at this top zone right there, this previous, at the bottom of the range when we were stuck down here, Ethereum broke out on this day here. It was July 15th when we moved above that $1,400 zone on this day. What was Bitcoin doing on July 15th? Let's mark up that top resistance point there. Well, on July 15th, Bitcoin was sitting down here, not really doing all too much. It was actually 2 days later that Bitcoin followed Ethereum 2 days later and then pumped above its resistance. So Ethereum clearly the leader in this recent move. And not only that, we're also now seeing a break above the previous high for Ethereum taking place before Bitcoin. So if Ethereum gets upside continuation, it's going to lead Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, just like this zone here, where it waited 2 days to break out, I mean, it could be something similar where Ethereum breaks out, gets that major momentum, and then Bitcoin, 1 or 2 days later, follows through. Something I was saying on Twitter was that the next big price breakout, whether it's up or down, is going to set the tone for the next multi-month trend. Enough time has passed that emotions have been able to reset. This is not the time to be biased. The market will speak, and you better listen. And I do think that that is true. I do think that the market is going to speak soon. It's been a long time, guys. We've been going down for a very long time. I mean, we were going sideways for months, and now we're starting to come up. And I think that enough time has passed in the market for people to sort of reset their emotions and expectations. And if we do start to see major breakouts here, it's going to cause a huge sentiment shift in the market. It's going to go from everyone being bearish. Once we get above this area into a breakout, people are going to start flipping bullish, which of course can be dangerous because we are still in a general downtrend. you know, if we do pump up, if we do break out in the on the RSI, well, actually, this is interesting. I'm looking at the 3-day RSI now. If you look at the 3-day RSI, we are actually getting a breakout right now. Look at that. Actually didn't notice that until here. 3-day breakout right there. That's pretty cool. That's a year-long breakout of that RSI level. Now, might as well just go to the daily RSI. The daily RSI, a little different story. We're still inside of this range, but we're getting close. We're getting close to a breakout of the 1-year-long daily RSI. So we've gotten above the 3-day RSI. We're breaking out there, right? We're breaking out on the weekly RSI, right? We're just starting to break out, and now the daily is waiting for that breakout zone right there. And the market is starting to speak up, guys. It's starting to say, hey, you know, maybe the sentiment is changing. Maybe we do have some bullishness in the gas tank for once, right? I think it's quite possible. And if we do continue this breakout, there's a couple zones for Ethereum. Again, Ethereum is going to be leading us. This wick low right here at 2,160 and this candle body close zone right here. I think this is going to be a huge area of interest in between these zones, right? So these 2 points from the wick low here to the candle body close zone, I think is definitely going to be a big zone to, you know, a big area of interest. If we test up to somewhere above 2,200, that's where we're likely going to find a lot of sellers, a lot of resistance. Of course, if we get through that level, that's insane. Like, that momentum would be gigantic, but it's more likely that we would probably see resistance here and maybe even a test back into our support range. Maybe looking for some kind of longer term consolidation, right? To test the lower levels again, to create a longer term base of support. Something along those lines, I think is likely, quite possible. But with this market, you just never know, right? So after getting to these areas, 2,200, 2,500, that's when I'd be looking, you know, I'd become a little bit more skeptical, because once again, you got to be mindful of the fact that it's a downtrend. The general pressure is still down, right? And most of these major pumps are probably going to get sold into to some degree before further consolidation. So 2,500, I think it's a good, well-rounded number, a good, well-rounded target on this breakout if it does continue, right? If it does continue. And what does that mean for Bitcoin on a breakout scenario? Well, it means probably, you know, at a minimum 29, 28K, these wick lows right here. I would say at a minimum, we would probably be hitting that. Just below 30K or 30K itself is probably a pretty big area of interest. And on the contrary, if all of this just fails, if this just becomes a big fake out, you know, it's just going to likely result in more sideways consolidation for the remainder of the year before maybe breaking out later. Something like this is also to be considered, that we have more of like a fake out here and we test into the lower range to create a longer term, stronger base of support before recovery. You know, all of that is possible. I think the vast majority of the bullish moves for the, you know, the next year are going to be coming up probably later in 2023. So again, we could be testing up to those mid 30K levels, but it's more likely that we see sideways consolidation and a slower recovery until we get closer to the halving, right? So I wouldn't be too worried about it. I think that we do have time to accumulate, and it's best to probably, if we, you know, if this bullish stuff plays out, it's probably better to maybe refrain from FOMOing and just wait for those retraces, right? So that's really, you know, buy the dips, right? But don't be buying into the pumps while we're still in a macro downtrend. Better off waiting, I think, for the most part, for those of you that are wondering if you should be getting in. I mean, yeah, I think for the long term, these are good prices. These are good levels. In the long term, we're likely going to be much, much higher than this, right? But, you know, it's still a kind of a zone where the general pressure's down. It's a bear market. People are going to be taking profits at higher levels, and you can definitely look for dip buys, right? Dip buys are probably the better option. But guys, that's it for me today. If you like this kind of content, definitely subscribe to this channel. Go to my website or click that link below to sign up for BitGet. They have US licensing. They are approved for US users, and there's no KYC. A great option right here. Definitely check it out. You get a $4,000 bonus for trading, a coupon, $4,000 coupon for trading. If you use that link, just follow the steps, and I'll see you guys in the next video.